If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon, and so many more places. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And best of all, it's totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello and welcome to Real Talk with RJ. I'm your host, RJ Kurtz, also the author of Soul Guardian by RJ Kurtz. It is a brand new angle on vampires, so go check it out. Today we're going to be talking about change. Change is something that is necessary within every person for growth, for forward movement, but at times people don't know how to change. The first step in changing is you have to have the desire. If you don't have a desire to change, there's no way you will. Next, you can't change for somebody else. You have to change for yourself. Because let's say a good meaning parent who wants to change for the better for the motivational factor of their kids, let's say they lose their kids. If they stop drinking alcohol or stop a bad habit because they had kids, if they lose their kids or the kids grow up and move out, chances are they're going to go back and regress to that bad habit or that bad characteristic flaw. So it's important that for anyone who wants to change, you have to change for yourself because you want to be better. You can't give up a bad habit because you have an incredible spouse or significant other. You can't change a bad habit or a characteristic about yourself because of religious beliefs. It's not strong enough. Because what happens if you go to church or to your faith and practice and you meet some people you don't like who rub you the wrong way, or even a leader who mistreats you or just rubs you the wrong way and you don't like him, you don't like some of the things he's saying or she's saying, chances are you're going to regress and go back to who you were. The only reason to change is because you deserve to be the best version of yourself. And if you're not ready to accept that responsibility and become the best version of yourself, then don't try it. This is something that a person needs to do, a path a person needs to walk, but they have to be um, contented and sure that they're going to actually commit to this journey. That's the thing you want to do. You need to commit to moving forward, no matter how hard it gets. You have to move forward and look back only for the wisdom and lessons that you learned from that past experience. That's one of the hardest things. People think that change is going to be hard to a point. They think they set these parameters on what is acceptable for how hard it can be. And then when those parameters are blown to the ocean, they want to give up. Change doesn't come when it's convenient. Change comes regardless if you're willing to take that journey or not. You're either going to change for the better or change for the worse. There's no such thing as staying stagnant and remaining who you are. You have to accept the responsibility that you are contributing to the world at some point in some degree. With the way you drive, you're contributing to being a good driver, or you're contributing to increasing the rate of accidents. You're also possibly contributing to the road rage out there, contributing to people getting in accidents by not paying attention to the road, by causing others to jam on their brakes behind you because you wanted to jam your brakes and you weren't paying attention. And then you saw something in the last possible moment that caused you to hit your brakes hard, causing a domino effect behind everybody else, which ends up often resulting in an accident. How are you going to leave an impact on the world? How are you going to impact the world? Are you going to be the same person you were yesterday? It's impossible because you had a certain number of experiences today that you didn't have yesterday that caused you to change to some degree. You can influence your own change if you're willing to. Who are you? That's a really important question to ask yourself. Who am I? You can be who you think you are or who you really are. Now, what does it mean to be who you really are? Who you really are is often contorted based on who's asking the question. But I believe that there is a difference between who you are and who you've allowed yourself to become. Who you are is your potential, who you were born to be, who you were created to be, who you are capable of becoming, and who you've allowed yourself to be is the result of your choices of fighting for something you wanted or letting the circumstances around you control your response. Are you an honest person? Are you honest to a fault? Are you loyal? Are you faithful? Are you loyal as long as the money is there? Or are you loyal regardless if the money's there or not? Are you the kind of significant other who, if your partner loses their job, you will leave because you feel you deserve luxury gifts and other things like that? Or are you the type of partner that will stand by that person's side and be there through thick and thin, no matter how hard it gets? Because I'm telling you, that's the kind of person you would want. Regardless of how much money somebody makes, doesn't matter because money can come and money can go. Circumstances beyond your control can happen. You can have a very successful business and all of a sudden something happens and then you have nothing. You're bankrupt overnight. Then what happens to your partner? Are they going to be there? Would you want them to be there for you if you lost all that? If you're saying no, you're probably lying to yourself or there's something really wrong. You have to make a decision on who you want to become. But be honest with yourself. Don't set financial means to your character. That's not it. Don't say I want to be a millionaire in 5 years. Who is the millionaire? There are cartels out there who are millionaires and billionaires. There are politicians who are millionaires or billionaires. Many people have made billions of dollars in dishonest means. So don't sell yourself short by saying I'm going to be rich. That's not enough. First determine the character you're going to have and then let every decision you have or every decision you make, excuse me, let that line up with that goal. Become that person by making every choice line up with the goal of who you want to become. At some point, your character will change. You will become better than ever, and you will become the person you were created to become, the person the world needs. Because in the history of the world, there will only ever be one of you. That's how important you are. So start today by asking yourself, who am I now? And then honestly look at yourself. Don't look at yourself with any degree of bias. Say, well, they treated me that. No, it doesn't matter how other people treat you. How do you respond? Look at your flaws. Be honest and accept responsibility for your flaws and shortcomings. They're okay. Everybody has flaws, everybody has shortcomings. But what are you going to do? Are you going to let those flaws and shortcomings define you? Or will you give them definition? Will you rise up and become the person you were created to become to reach your full potential? Start off with this choice: I will be better tomorrow than I was today. What does that mean? Add details on what it means to be better tomorrow than you were today. Are you going to be more patient on the road? Keep in mind, anyone can be in a good mood when you're in a good mood. But when you're upset about something, you have to choose to be in a good mood. That's when you put in your work, when it's not convenient. It's like if you have millions of dollars and you give somebody $10, that's nothing to you. But if you only have $20 and somebody needs 10, that's a lot. It's a bigger sacrifice because you only have $20. That's when you have to choose. Am I going to be a cheerful giver now? Or am I going to just keep that money? So I challenge every person listening today. Think about who you are. If you are a father and you have a daughter and you're trying to figure out how to be better, become the man you would want your daughter to marry because ultimately your daughter will measure the kind of man she dates or marries or the kind of partner that she dates or marries by the kind of partner you are to her mother or the kind of example you are. Ultimately, the people we date are a reflection of the influences in their lives. And the two most important influences come from both parents. I challenge every person here and every listener to think about who you are today and who you want to become, and then make every decision that occurs in your life line up with that choice and reach your potential. Become who you were created to become and impact the world in ways you never could. I'm RJ Kurtz. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great night or a great day.